Welcome to New Life Live with host and founder of New Life Ministries, Stephen Arterburn. New Life Live is dedicated to transforming lives one at a time, thanks to the giving hearts of you, our listeners. Our goal is to provide you with wisdom from God's Word to give you hope and help in life's hardest places. If you have a question you'd like to ask today, our phone lines are open. Call 1-800-229-3000. That number again is 1-800-229-3000. Now here's Steve.
Welcome, family and friends, to New Life Live. This is Chris Williams in for Steve Arterburn today, and I have in studio with me Dr. Jill Hubbard.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Jill. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Good to be here.
Yeah. And Milan.
Hey.
Milan Yerkovich.
Hey, Chris. Hey, Jill. It's
Hey,
good
Milan.
to see you guys.
Okay, so it is PTSD Awareness Month, and I'm not sure we're aware of all the different awarenesses in the months, but there's a lot of them, but this happens to be PTSD.
Okay.
On the show on Monday, I talked a little bit about my definition of, I call it working definition of trauma. And it's our unseen, untouched, unhealed pain. But that also, pain is sort of our entrance fee onto planet Earth, because we live on a fallen planet.
Sure.
And so, but we're all chasing happiness at the same time. I should say most of us are. Or relief.
Happiness or relief, right? To
Yeah.
be just okay.
Absolutely, or what we call peace or serenity. But we're also carrying this pain, and some of us are very, very confused about why we can't get over the hump. What are some of the things that keep us blocked?
I think we have to start off with, what do we expect here on planet Earth? And the Bible says that we are in a broken world. It is fallen, and there is imposed over the human race a curse that work is going to be painful, putting food on your table is going to be painful. In Romans 8, it says that God subjected the creation to futility, that there would be a futile nature to this existence. And you, as you and I have actually said on this show before, that brings with it an undercurrent of anxiety or tension that is just a part of living here on this planet.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I think you have to accept that. Otherwise, you don't have an explanation as to why do I feel unsettled, or why does life not feel quite right.
Yes.
Right.
And to accept it and realize, okay, but we have, and how was it that portion of the Serenity Prayer goes that you were telling me earlier?
In the extended version or the full version of the Serenity
Yeah.
Prayer, it talks about that we may be reasonably happy in this life and supremely happy in the next.
Right.
You know, and I talk about how this is the danger of addiction. Our addictive behaviors or devices or substances promise us and give us a momentary experience of supreme happiness that only leads to supreme misery.
Right.
Right.
Because we haven't learned how to live reasonably happy, right? And happiness does have, we say it's not circumstantial. I'm like, no, it is. It's tied to what's going on in our lives. But again, how do we continue to work towards that?
That high
reason?
is the counterfeit, right?
Exactly.
And it does lie to us, right? And kind of hijacks the brain and makes you believe that you can have that ongoing.
Yes.
And that just isn't true. And so many people, like you said, are left more miserable chasing that original high.
Yes.
When really, Milan, what you're saying is we have to accept life on life's terms.
Right.
Right? It's never going to be as ideal as we want it to be.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
there is pain in life that we have to learn to live with.
And to your point, whether it be putting food on the table or whether it be getting through some of the difficulties, it's all going to be work and toil. It really is. And we just have to decide, what are we going to work for and what are we going to work towards? And finding that the meaning and purpose that God puts in our life gets us much closer to living in reasonably happy. If we can help you out today, give us a call at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. We have a nationwide network of therapists that can connect you. We have resources, and we have life-giving workshops to help you discover a much greater reasonable happiness.
I came into this thinking that my husband was the cause of many of our issues.
The New Life Intimacy and Marriage Workshop is coming to Washington, D.C., July 23rd to the 25th.
But after learning about our attachment styles, I understood how our past hurts were playing into our present problems.
Join Steve Arterburn.
It's been a dream of mine for a long time to help people to grow more intimately together, and we believe that everybody has room to grow in the intimacy level of their life.
And Milan Yerkovich.
We help couples understand how their attachment style is sabotaging their current relationship. And then we teach them how to create comfort in a relationship.
And New Life's group counselors will help you focus on the area that will benefit your marriage most. To register or to find out more, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
Here at this workshop, we had our first ever conversation without yelling, blaming, and accusing.
1-800-NEW-LIFE. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back to New Life Live. This is Chris. We
We're
are
telling stories.
We're
Sorry.
deep in conversation right now. But let's do this.
Talking about airplane stories.
Yes,
Yeah.
talking about landing. So let's actually go to a call now. Let's go to Beth, listening in Napa, Idaho, listening on KBXL. Beth, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Beth, how can we help you?
Well, I have been helped by you all over the years, probably since 1980. I've been involved with New Life Live, and boy, have I needed it. My question is, should I attempt to make the restore?
Yes. That's my quick answer is yes.
You don't even know her story yet.
Well, I have had a lot of counseling and that type of thing, but I've had several betrayals, and recently I've been married for 2 years, and my husband attacked me, but yet I found out that basically he had this in the plan. He had done a similar kind of thing with a previous wife. He planned on leaving her, came in on May of 2018 and said, I'm divorcing you. Bye. I never loved you. I don't know why I married you. And then he met me in June of 18 after a husband of 14 years had died in January, and my son was dying from brain cancer.
Wow.
And so I was sort of in this weird mode, but everybody that met him liked him. I have found out through going through a violent attack, the cycle of violence. And I had always wondered, why is there every 4 to 6 weeks sort of a blow up or, let off steam is what they call it now, I understand. And then things would calm down and we'd be great, hunky-dory, and then go through this cycle again until finally I told him one day, no, I'm not doing what you wanted me to do. We had just built a home, and he wanted to sell that and rebuild away from everyone. And that was probably when he decided she won't cooperate, so I am going to do whatever to get out of this marriage. So I've had several betrayals.
Yes. And did you have betrayals before him?
I have, yes. A husband of 30 years that ran around on me, and finally he wouldn't do counseling, so we divorced, and that was a hard one, too.
Yeah. So, Jill, what should she do?
Well, Beth, okay, so I agree. I think Restore could be helpful for you. It deals with different types of betrayals, and certainly you have had your share in 30 years, and to have someone who cheated on you, That is heartbreaking. I think, Beth, you are seeing some reality here in this husband's pattern, and it's not pretty, right? If he's done this before, and this has been a pattern, he can do it again. And so I'm not sure what the hope is in terms of restoration here.
He has filed for a divorce, so we're not going to, and I've sort of released that, to the Lord. But I just don't want to carry, and I want to identify different things in my life that drew me to that person.
Yes.
And of course, he fooled me. He was selling himself.
Well, and Beth, he fooled you. You were also in a really vulnerable time. And I think when we're in a really vulnerable time, it's important to not make major decisions. Because sometimes
that's true.
Right? What feels good, like you were hurting so bad, so he came in and he could read that. I mean, this is someone who's like a predator and a con, right? That seeks women who are vulnerable to take advantage of. And so you were really vulnerable, having lost your husband and your son. That's a lot of loss there. So we don't make major decisions when we're depressed, when we've gone through a major loss. You know, they always say, like, keep everything the same for at least 2 years. Yeah. Right? After a major loss. And don't make life changes. But I think getting into an ongoing process, going to Restore, getting into therapy, it's never too late to grow. I love my older clients who come in and are still wondering, right? They're still, you grow till the day you die.
Yes.
And so it's never too late. And I think it helps in the aging process to evaluate and reflect and look back and see, okay, why did I do the things that I did? And to have some understanding of that.
And so, Beth, I kind of jokingly jumped in and said yes, right as you were asking, should I go? And really, I do that for a point of emphasis, and that is to be, like Jill was saying, to be getting the help you need, to getting insight, and to being around other women. Because what they do is they provide more accurate mirrors for our own experience. And in addition to that, obviously, providing love and support as we walk through these very difficult situations. And this will also help understand that, one, you're not alone. This is common. That you're not a bad person because you got duped by this guy who seemed to be very, very good at what he does, as Jill was saying. And so then from there, being able to get into some counsel to help walk through the grief, the loss, and the betrayal that you're going through. I think it's really important.
Okay. I have gone to a trauma specialist because I'm still not completely back to normal. I am, forgetting names, and so I'm seeing a trauma specialist. I had seen a New Life Live counselor in Boise, and then he sort of shut down. So should I also see him if he's available again?
Well, I think continuing to go with your current trauma therapist is the way to go. And we're going to send you a copy of Dr. Sherry Keffer's book, Intimate Deception. And so with you doing your own trauma work and her describing betrayal trauma and walking through that experience, I think it's going to really add a lot. And if you include the Restored Workshop, you're really, really setting yourself up very well.
Okay.
And Beth,
those are some really good next steps.
On a plane, I don't know if I can.
Well, we'll give it a try. Give it a try. And so we would love to be able to see you there, and love, again, for you to come into this community of hope and healing through the pain of betrayal that you've experienced and what you're continuing to work through. And we greatly appreciate that you've been a part of our family and our lives here at New Life. since 1980.
So long,
I mean, that level of investment, it means a lot to us. And so thank you so much for calling in, Beth. And again, Intimate Deception is going to be coming your way. Speaking of betrayal, if you aren't aware, Going Deeper has actually transitioned to a weekly format. And obviously, Going Deeper is Steve's YouTube show. Steve is going A to Z through the alphabet, and he's covering different topics. And so this week, it is betrayal. And so it's on today. It starts at 5 Eastern time. And so if you really, if what Beth was talking about fits you or you know someone, be sure to check out Steve today on Going Deeper on YouTube, and he will be covering betrayal. So with that, let's go to our next caller. Let's go to Andrew in New York, New York. Andrew, are you there?
Yes, sir. How are you?
Excellent. So you're listening to us on Sirius XM, is that right?
Yes, I am.
I love it. I love it. How can we help you today?
All right. So I am actually going through my third divorce.
Okay.
Right? My intention when I was a kid was that I should only be married once. This is my third. Now, I've come to grips with the divorce. I am searching myself to see what I could do, what I am doing, because I must be doing something wrong. I don't want to point fingers. I want to be a better person, because the person I know I am, I evangelize. I have a heart for people. Yet still, this area of my life, I always end up at the same point. I see where it has affected me. It has affected my confidence. It has affected my children.
Yeah.
I'm really crying out for help, not to cry over a loss, but to cry over the fact that I just need to be a better person. I don't know how to go about it. I just need help. I don't know if I'm coming across.
Yes, absolutely. You're coming across well, and you're starting in the best position to start the transformation process. And that is the ownership of ourselves, the ownership of our own experiences. So Milan, where do we take Andrew from here?
Well, Andrew, I'm glad that you can see your positive side, that you can evangelize and you're good with people and you are someone who has good qualities. But what we often see, I say we, the three of us here, is that when people end up getting in close proximity to one another, they end up joining one another in partnerships or marriage or business relationships, or they end up being in close relationship, they start to wobble some way or another that then is damaging to the relationship. Or they get into relationships too quickly because they are drawn to relationships and they want them to be extremely tight relationships with little to no separation. You would really need to really find out by doing some work with a therapist that can say, okay, Andrew, what happens to you in relationship? How does the relationship start? How long do you evaluate whether this is a person that then you choose to get married? And then what happens? And then what goes on? What are the steps that brings you to this place? I am very impressed with your call, Andrew. I don't say that very often, but I'm very impressed with your call, your ownership that what's wrong with me. And I did
right, and seeing the patterns, right? You're saying I must be doing something wrong because now here's number 3.
Yeah,
that's great.
Andrew, I did this once.
I do see some patterns. If I'm to be absolutely honest, I do see some patterns for myself.
Yes.
You know, so.
I did this once myself. I was in a position as a church leader, and I knew there was something wrong, and I finally came to the conclusion it was me. And I left that position and I asked God, Lord, would you please show me where I need to grow up and change and be something different, because I feel the pain here where I'm at. I too saw a pattern. And I spent the next 10 years, 12 years growing up. And the rest of my life has been better. And so there's a lot of optimism here. We're going to go to a break because you can hear the music, but we're going to come back and offer you a few key steps.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That you could take. Andrew, I love your call.
Yes. And so speaking of getting from unstuck places to growth, for us guys, for everyone, but especially for us guys, we tend to hit a midlife crisis. But we tend to think of that stereotypically, like buying a new car or, having an affair or something stupid like that. But usually it just looks like the energy has left the building. It's sort of the zest for life has gone, and there's a sense of discouragement and emptiness. If that's you, The Soul of a Hero is right up your alley. It is Steve and Dave's last book together. Check it out. Any gift this month, and we'll send you a copy.
Hi, this is Steve Arterburn from New Life Live, and Chris Williams and I are doing the Emotional Freedom Workshop. A lot of people are you could literally say, in bondage from past trauma that has created an emotional web that they don't understand, and it prevents them from being free. A person that loses their temper regularly is not emotionally free. Someone who has anxiety just to get in the car and leave the house is not emotionally free. And walking around with the shame from a childhood or even a bad relationship as an adult, that is not emotional freedom, and we can help you get there.
The New Life Emotional Freedom Online Workshop is Saturday, August 14th. Steve Arterburn and Chris Williams will present information on the power of our emotions, procrastination, guilt and shame, and more. And small group leaders will help you process the information you learn. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE or register online at newlife.com.
I was really living a very anxiety-filled life. I did go to Take Your Life Back. That's why I continue to support the ministry with the hope that not only am I helping my own situation, that I'm helping others as well.
You can help New Life Live stay on the air by joining Club New Life today. When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, we'll send you the New Life member thank you gift of the New Life Journal, 100 Days of Peace, 7 Ways to Choose Healing, Growth Has No Boundaries, a Restoration Bible, and a New Life grocery tote to hold it all. Plus, there are ongoing benefits, like access to the Club New Life video library, the monthly Club New Life CD or download, quarterly resources, free shipping on purchased resources, and discounts on workshops. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. Support Club New Life, and together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places. Call 1-800-639-5433 to join Club New Life today. We'd love to hear from you. If you have a question or a comment, call toll-free 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back to New Life Live. Again, this is Chris in for Steve, and I have Jill and Milan, and we have Andrew on the line. And Milan, you were really guiding Andrew in some important...
I came to the end of myself one time in my life, about 35 years ago, and I said, something's wrong, I need to grow up. And so, because Andrew, when we find ourselves, it's always a question of what happens behind closed doors. It's not who we are in public. Because when we're in public, a lot of people watch, we turn on our best behavior, but behind closed doors, we can't hide, and the real us comes out, and perhaps we're angry, perhaps we're reactive, perhaps we withdraw, perhaps we just freeze up and can't say or do anything. And all of those responses and reactions do not work in relationship. They harm relationships. So the book that absolutely changed my life was Changes That Heal by Henry Cloud. And we're going to send you a copy of that as a starting spot, because we have to learn things that, at least for myself, Andrew, that I hadn't learned as a child and as an adolescent. I had to go back and find areas of my life where I needed to mature in order to make my adult relationships more profitable, and so on.
Well, and that book gives a framework,
It does.
right, for developmental growth
That's right.
steps, as well as what derails those.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you can see yourself in that book. And I
Yeah.
think just to highlight, Milan, some of what you guys are saying is that in relationships, we are reduced to our most primitive selves.
Good way to
And,
say it.
and that really shows us where we need to do the work,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Because when we're by ourselves, we're all pretty wonderful, right? And it's like, well, I functioned just fine without you, and then you showed up, right? And so it shows us, and that's where, Chris, like you were saying, people become mirrors, right,
Yes.
for us.
Yeah.
And so, Andrew, you are seeing where you need to do the work and getting into therapy with a therapist to do some of this work. I also wonder, do you have male friends? And if not, or, if you do, you need to cultivate some deeper relationships with men. And Andrew, I would also recommend that you please do not get married again right away. Allow yourself some time and space. Be with other men and be in therapy, and allow yourself a window of time to do some work on yourself and really looking at yourself instead of putting another person in that spot, right? Sometimes we get so uncomfortable in that void and looking at ourselves. We just want another person because it distracts us. It's exciting and fun to be in love. But then, as you said, Andrew, you end up in the same spot again. And at this point, you got to do something different.
Absolutely.
Can we also send them How We Love? Let's send them 2 books. Because I think you'll find yourself in there, Andrew, the reactivity, the anger, the different things you feel. Jill, I loved how you said it. The most primitive version of us really comes out behind closed doors. And really that speaks to all of our callers.
Yes.
When they find themselves in relationships and they go,
Help.
this help, and this person wasn't like this when we were dating, and so it takes time to learn what a person is.
Well, and we need to remember this about intimacy.
Yes.
Because we're all craving the connection and comfort, but we forget it comes with exposure.
Yes.
Intimacy exposes, and it doesn't expose one thing. It exposes everything. And so, hey, in the midst of seeking out connection and comfort in relationships, or especially in our romantic relationships, don't forget there is always the work of exposure that needs to be done. Speaking of exposure and exposing the needs that we have, but also the opportunities that we have, and our ministry to the world, Larry Sonnenberg.
Thank you so much, Chris. I've been thinking New Life has been incredibly blessed by God the last couple of years, especially financially even. And I was thinking about that. The reason is God is touching and changing hearts in people's lives, and they're responding to that. It's pretty simple. And I wanted to share I want to have Jill read a testimony in a second. I've been thinking, why am I coming in reading these testimonies that women wrote? And I'd rather have a woman's voice. But folks, we need your help. It's a continuing. If you've been touched, whether it's personally or just by something you've heard on the radio or hear testimonies, we want to keep doing this. We want to grow it. We want to make it better than it is. And you can help us with that. So I want to let Jill read this testimony from a Restore Workshop attendee.
Okay. Before coming to this workshop, I felt stuck, depressed, and angry. I was feeling like I don't have a life or a voice, or not sure what to do with it or how to use it. I was considering taking drugs or something to take away the pain. This weekend has been very emotional. I was sad at first and angry that I even needed to be at the workshop. But that all changed after the first day. I started feeling hopeful, realizing that my life doesn't have to stay that way. Then I got excited about that, and that was just really awesome. I am leaving the workshop with my heart full. Everything has changed. I feel closer to God, and I know He will see me through this.
So folks, I'm asking you to make a gift for us to continue to do this. Maybe it's your first time. There's a lot of folks I know that listen to this program for years and years and never ever support it. If you could be one of those, please do. If you could join Club New Life, call us at 800 New Life. Ask about what that means. A monthly giving program, it'll make a difference. So thank you. We'll be back right after this.
For most of my life, I've been dealing with an opiate addiction.
Why is opioid addiction quickly becoming one of our nation's biggest killers? Maybe it's because it isn't only those who are addicted who are in denial.
We did what I see so many parents do, is it can't be an addiction. There's something medically wrong.
It's impossible to solve a problem when you don't know what you're up against, and families will try to find any explanation except the one that will put them on the right path.
Alcoholism and drug addiction is a family disease. It doesn't affect just the individual.
If someone you love is abusing painkillers, know what you're up against. It's time to admit its addiction and seek treatment. Call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. We have partner treatment centers around the country. Call 1-800-639-5433 or visit us online at newlife.com.
We just made a decision. We will do whatever it takes.
1-800-NEW-LIFE.
Hi, this is Steve Arterburn, and for 30 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
I'm an addict, and I'm trying to get God in my life again.
You seem to be able to get to the crux of a problem quickly.
Our Christ-centered treatment programs can help you break free to embrace all that God has for you and your family.
I just want to thank you guys for bringing me to a relationship with Jesus.
There really is help for marital problems, depression, addictions, panic attacks, and feelings of hopelessness.
I came back with so many tools to help me prepare myself to fight this struggle and this battle that I have every day.
You can start living again today, living the life God intended for you. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
They did care, and they did follow up very lovingly, and it made all the difference in my life.
Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Someone who cares is waiting at the other end of the phone. God can open the door to a better tomorrow right now. Just call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. 1-800-639-5433.
We're glad you joined us for New Life Live. To be a part of the program, call 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back to New Life Live. Again, this is Chris, and for Steve, Milan, and Jill are here with me, and we're going to go right to Junior in Sacramento, California, listening on KFIA. Junior, are you there?
Hello?
Hi.
Yes, I'm here.
Talk to us. What can we do for you today?
Well, first of all, it's an honor talking to you guys. Thank you for taking my call, and I'll try to make it as quick as I can. So me and my wife have been married for about 11 years now. We've gone through our ups and downs, and there's one thing that I just can't get rid of. That's on my mind quite a bit, and that has always been her sexual past. I can't seem to get rid of it, especially, and I had already gotten rid of it. I wasn't thinking about it, and then recently she revealed other things to me that really brought it all back to me, just as when we first started dating. And she revealed to me, about some videos that she had made with another man, a video, and at some point in our relationship, this person, it may have been the person, or we don't know. She doesn't know. She just recently told me about this, that they threatened to expose the video or whatever. At the beginning of our relationship, we had a lot of issues with this one person, and I had a lot of anger towards this person. And it just, I don't know, I can't get over that. And I feel like I need to get over it now because our children are getting older. We have 5 kids. And right now I feel like my job, our busyness is keeping me busy and keeping my mind off of it.
Yeah.
But my fear is that once we get older, the kids move out, and it's just me and her, this is just going to come full back to attack me.
Yeah.
And I don't want to end my marriage. I don't want this to... I don't want to hurt her anymore by bringing it up.
Yeah.
And,
so Junior, let me do something really quickly. I want you to pay attention to your insides between your chin and your belly button, as if there was a center line there. Okay? I want you to pay attention to it physically.
Okay.
And when you think of this person, when you think of your wife's sexual past, what physical sensation do you feel between your chin and your belly button?
Honestly, I feel a lot of anger.
Okay.
A lot of anger, a lot of...
Would that be in your chest or in your belly or both?
Both, yeah. Sometimes there's times when it just comes to my mind out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like the thoughts.
Okay, so here's what I want you to do. Here's what I want you to do with that. Let's go with the chest. So you feel that anger, that tension, that tightness in your chest, right?
Yes.
Okay, if that had a voice and it said, I am blank, I am something, what is that voice telling you about yourself?
Myself. I'm not too sure. I don't know. I know that I do struggle with a lot of confidence issues. I'm not a very confident person. I know that. So maybe that may be the issue. I know that I had a lot of issues in the past with my own father and things like that. And I don't know, just confidence issues. But more than anything, like what I feel is a lot of anger.
Yes.
And that voice that talks to me, that if there is anything that tells me something, is just anger.
Yeah.
I don't need to be with this person. I don't need to be with my wife, and that just kills me inside because I love my wife. I want to be with her, and I don't want to divorce her. We have 5 babies.
Absolutely, absolutely, and because that anger is speaking to a pain of injustice that you're carrying around inside of you. And I want you to be able to pay attention to that pain that actually has a voice that's talking to you. And it's oftentimes telling you about you. And 9 times out of 10, it's not a good thing. It usually says something like you're not good enough, you're unworthy, you're unlovable, you don't measure up, you don't have what it takes. And then that's what's going to start eating away at your confidence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like, Junior, you go to this place of shame about yourself, almost comparing yourself to her other experiences, and you don't measure up. And then the anger feels more powerful than shame. And so anger is like flipping into a place of pride that says, how could she have, been this way with others? Why aren't I the only one? I should leave her. But you're saying, no, you really don't want to listen to that voice, which means...
I don't.
Right, but it feels really bad. These feelings feel really bad.
Hurt.
And Junior, all these things happened prior to her dating you?
Yes, she's been a wonderful wife to me.
Okay.
I mean, she's an amazing cook. She's an amazing mother. She's so loving. She's so caring. God has worked in her life so immensely in such amazing ways. She's changed so much since we started dating.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've been together for 12 years already, but I feel like, I need to fix this issue before I do something where she just gets tired of hearing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I do bring it up, and I say, hey, you know what? And when we're in our intimacy,
and
I
that's
just can't.
and yeah, let me just jump in here, Junior, because that's where I call it the contagion of shame.
Mm-hmm.
So my guess is that from her experiences that she maybe carries some regret or embarrassment or shame, and so it's like you're kind of offloading your shame on her, and it could trigger her shame as well. And so you're picking up on that really, really well. Milan, what do you think?
Yes, and that's exactly why.
Yeah.
That's why exactly why I don't want to talk about it anymore, because I make her cry, and she's sad. She hates remembering these things because she says that these people just used her.
Yeah.
And these people, none of these people ever wanted to date her or anything like that. That I'm the only one that has ever dated her.
Yeah.
And these people just played with her. And we got married at a very young age. We're talking about when she was really young.
Yeah.
And We got married at, I was 19, I was 18, she was 17, and we started dating. And then we got married when I was 19.
Yeah.
She was 18, and she was already pregnant.
So you're going in the. So Andrew or Junior, I want to jump in. You're going in the right direction. The direction is something is off in me. And
yes, I know that.
Well, can I just say something? I mean, and as you're talking, I'm feeling like compassion for her, and really compassion for each other's hurts and each other's stories, and the wrong turns that you took is a really important part of the healing. But Junior, I would venture to say that the feelings you're having really have nothing to do with her sexual past. That it has to do with, Chris, what you were touching on earlier. Junior, it has to do with those inadequacies in you, and it's being put on her, wrongly put on her. She's a broken person that in your relationship and in her relationship with Jesus has changed her ways and has left those behaviors behind because you're part of that, because of you, because of her love for you. And it doesn't seem like you're seeing that piece. Like you're looking for...
I do see it.
Okay.
There are times when I clearly see it, and there are times when I have such peace in my heart about it. I know that God called me to be with her. Even before I was with her, I heard God calling me to be with her. I mean, we didn't date till
so Junior,
a few months after.
But Junior,
let me
jump in. Let me jump in for time's sake, because I think you said something really important. Is that God has called you to be with her. There's somebody else that God has called you to be with that's really disrupted. God has called you to be with yourself. And that's your struggle. Your struggle is against your own pain, against your own shame, against your own regrets or frustrations that remain unhealed in your life.
Which is the definition of trauma that you were talking about, right? Things that are unseen and unhealed.
Unseen and
unvoiced.
Untouched.
Right. Right. And those are the things. And see, that is looking for a place to land because you don't know what to do with that. And so it's like, oh, it's her sexual past. That's the problem. It's not the problem at all.
Yeah.
So who else, Junior, would you say this to? Who in your past disappointed you or created an injustice in your life? Who else in your life before you met your bride disappointed you?
Everybody except my mother.
Okay, many. Everybody except my mother disappointed me. They were unjust. They did things that hurt me. And so really, your history, your wife, I believe, is becoming the lightning rod for all your past hurts. We'll come right back.
I feel blessed to have had this opportunity for my needs to be met, connecting with other women who are fighting the same fight, hoping for healthy marriages and growing closer to the Lord on their journey.
My name is Shelly Martinkus, and I want to personally invite you to the Restore Workshop. If you have been affected by betrayal, it might be that your husband has been looking at pornography, it might be an emotional, physical affair. I would love for you to come join us.
I feel encouraged and hopeful that even in my struggle, I am enough.
You will leave with hope, with a community of sisters ready to support you, and you will also leave with tools to move you forward on this journey.
Through the sharing in our small group, I realize that I am not alone.
Please don't hesitate. Pick up the phone, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. I would love to see you there.
The Restore Workshop is coming to Dallas, Texas, June 25th through the 27th. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE to find out more. That's 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com.
I was really living a very anxiety-filled life. I did go to Take Your Life Back. That's why I continue to support the ministry with the hope that not only am I helping my own situation, that I'm helping others as well.
You can help New Life Live stay on the air by joining Club New Life today. When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, we'll send you the New Life member thank you gift of the New Life Journal, 100 Days of Peace, 7 Ways to Choose Healing, Growth Has No Boundaries, a Restoration Bible, and a New Life grocery tote to hold it all. Plus, there are ongoing benefits, like access to the Club New Life video library, the monthly Club New Life CD or download, quarterly resources, free shipping on purchased resources, and discounts on workshops. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. Support Club New Life, and together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places. Call 1-800-639-5433 to join Club New Life today. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back. We're talking with Junior. And Junior, we were just talking about how we love your call. We don't love the pain that you're going through. We don't love what you're struggling with, but we love your insight, your self-awareness, and your desire to look to see what you can change. So we want to help you in that direction. And I want to start off by just saying that looking at your past is important because we carry our past with us.
Right.
You know, as therapists, we're not just here to dig up dry bones.
No, but it's if it's alive and well in the present, then we
Yes.
have to look at it.
Absolutely.
Right? And we are trained to see those things.
You know, and it's so interesting that Junior's wife was victimized by these people.
Yeah.
And for him to begin to see her as a victim of somebody that he's come along and been really a hero. Speaking of this book that Dave and Steve have created, The Soul of a Hero, Junior, you're that guy. And yet your hurts in the past are still driving the bus today, and they're causing you to be angry at your wife for a sexual history that is very, very sad. But we all have a history. I also have to accept my imperfect history, and I'm sure at some level you have an imperfect history. But I think Chris is right, Jill's right, the anger you have going on is something from the past. So what do we do with that? We get angry at the past instead of the present. So what we don't do is necessarily get angry at the real people live today. But we write, we journal, we process, we talk about how these many people hurt me, the pain that it caused, and we allow our grief and anger to be focused to the past, not necessarily literally, but in paper and in conversation with other people, instead of coming out on my sweet wife, who's the lightning rod for that history.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Junior, here's what we're going to do. We're going to send you a copy of The Soul of a Hero, but we're also going to send you a copy of, what's your book, Milan?
How We Love.
How We Love. I just had that blank, that part of the brain which just goes blank. We're going to send you How We Love. I really want to encourage you, Junior, to also attend Intimacy in Marriage workshop, because that's where you learn how to have these conversations with your wife. And Jill, you have something.
Well, we were talking about another book, but
I'm going to send that one too.
the Forgiving Our Fathers, Forgiving Our Past?
No, because this is important.
Okay.
It is too important to let go by. The way we carry the experiences of our fathers and mothers is really important. It's really important that we look at it and understand how it's shaped us, how it's imprinted on us. And learning how to work through that is critically important in our adulthood. So, forgiving our fathers, forgiving ourselves. We're also going to send you. We're going to send you
Dave's
3
book.
books.
I think that's the title. I'm not sure. We'll get it right.
Because that is such an essential part of the healing process. Is the forgiving process. We're going to try to get one more call in today. We're going to try to get Ed from St. Louis, Missouri. Ed, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Ed, I don't have a whole lot of time. So if you could quickly give us what's going on and how we can help you, and then we will try to quickly help you.
Okay. I'm 55 years old. My wife and I are going through some terrible medical, physical, mental problems trying to get ourselves back together. I've had 27 major surgeries since 2001.
Wow.
My wife was diagnosed with 3 brain tumors.
Oh, my goodness.
She went through the surgeries. She's recovering. Thank you, Lord. She's doing really good, but I need to know how to be there more for my wife. I talk to God every day. I pray to God every day.
Yeah.
I want her around. I want us to be together, stay together. He's keeping me here for a reason, I believe.
Yeah.
Because of what I've been through. I should have been dead and gone. I take 297 pills a week, to keep functioning.
Wow.
And now my wife is going through the same ordeal that I was going through with the head surgeries.
Yeah.
And I just don't know how else to be strong for her.
Oh my goodness.
Keep us
you guys, have
going in the right direction.
Yeah.
There's so much thrown at us. It's like the wolf is knocking at the door constantly.
And
I just
stay with that statement.
I want to be strong.
Stay with that statement just for a second. How long have you felt like the wolf has been knocking at the door?
Ever since my first surgery.
Okay, so
I felt like I was a major burden to her.
So here's what we're going to go with. You guys have been carrying way too much stress for way too long. I don't want to dismiss all of your physical ailments to just stress, because I know there's much more than that going on. But I think what we can help you with today is helping decrease a little bit more, move the needle of stress a little bit lower, and that will help you show up a little bit better. So, Milan, how do we help Ed lower the stress levels?
Here's a quick answer, because we don't have a lot of time, Ed. But your goal is not to be strong. Mm-hmm. Your goal is to be real. You see, strength is you can't hold up strength when you're weak. But if you show your weakness, and you show vulnerability, and you show transparency, and you go, you know what, I'm sad today, or I'm in pain today, or I'm worried about you today, or tell me what you're feeling today. Let's be real with each other. There's a beautiful song by the Christian music group Casting Crowns, and it's called Broken Together. And let's be broken together. Okay. And let me just, I'll pray for you. And you said you pray and talk to God every day. Do that with your wife. Mm-hmm. You know, pray with her, talk with her, and be real. Don't be strong. Be real. If you're scared, you're scared.
With her and I will be the first to admit I have a lot of fear in my life.
Then let her be that too.
I'm at the point. It's like, you know, I ask God, show me, tell me, and I feel ignorant to the point of, you know, I've always loved God. I've always respected God, and I've always talked to him. But I feel ignorant to the point that I'm not understanding when he's responding to me. I feel like I'm not doing what he's wanting me to do or saying what he was wanting me to say, and I don't know how to go about it.
Because
I don't know how to fix it.
Ed, if you did it right, then what? Like, I get the feeling you think that all this is happening to you because you're doing something wrong. I mean, this is...
That's the way I...
Yeah, and I can see how it could feel that way. This is an excessive amount of health issues. Mm-hmm. And yet...
Yes.
The trials in life, they're not all doled out equally.
Yeah.
We don't know why that is. Some people have to go through more long suffering than others, and it doesn't mean it's because they're bad. Mm-hmm. This is just the journey God has you on, right? And he uses everything. He doesn't waste anything. So for you guys, I mean, I can't think of anyone better than each other to go through long suffering with. And it's about, like Milan was saying, not about being strong. It's about showing up and giving each of you equal time of sharing.
Yeah. And one of the things is, Ed, I think there's a lot in your past showing up, and we want you to be able to address that. But grace is on the side of realness, not rightness. Rightness doesn't need grace. Realness does. So we want you to get real. Also, thank you so much for calling in. We're going to send you a copy of Take Your Life Back. Thank you for being with us today, and we pray that you have a great, glorious day. Until next time.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you. But you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433, or write to us at New Life Ministries, P.O. Box 1029, Lake Forest, California, 92609. Please join us again tomorrow for New Life Live.
Hi, thank you for watching New Life Live. You know, New Life Live is a Christian counseling program where we deal with the hard questions about life, relationships, kids, free choice, freedom of will, whatever. It's all right there on New Life Live every day, every weekday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. If you want to call into the live broadcast, you can find the schedule on newlife.com or click the social media link right below. You can see every episode of New Life Live on the New Life YouTube channel. Watch it with a friend, watch it later. Be sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you'll never miss another episode. So if you want to listen on the go, download the app. The link is right below. And I hope if you need some information, if you want to get some help, you'll call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. And I'll see you next time.